A drama-filled meeting in January. The DA's Nqaba Banga elected as mayor again, the fourth mayor in as many years. The council meeting to elect him was only called after the court ordered then council speaker Wheeler Mafaya to call the meeting with the election of a mayor as the only agenda point. The Cooperative Governance MEC Xolile Nqatha dragged Banga and 14 others to court, challenging the legality of this election during a December 4, 2020 council meeting. The DA later proposed the rerun of the election as an out-of-court settlement deal. Banga was elected through a secret ballot.
They must all go to court. The city manager presided over the election of an acting speaker. The Municipal Systems Act states it very clear that when there is a quorum in a meeting, councillors can elect a speaker. We elected Councillor Martin Daniel. He presided over this meeting. This meeting is illegal. It's legal, and anybody who wants to challenge it, which is the ANC, they must go to court. We're ready as a city for them, and we are going to make sure that we dispose them.
During the past year, the DA-led coalition tackled the city's debt burden and improved the metro's credit rating to AAA, the first time ever. The DA approached the local government elections with confidence that it would remain behind the levers of power. The party also relying on established partners, the UDM, ACDP and COPE.
Because the ratepayers and the residents, they want to see change in their lives, and I'm so proud that we have turned the city to a construction site. We can go wherever. We're building roads, electricity, and also maintaining our infrastructure. We are attracting investors to come to our city. We've established good relations with business. That's what people want. That's what people vote for. And two, we have to make sure that we bring back good governance. We must not eradicate corruption, we must stop corruption. And therefore it is what we're doing.
The ANC was also working on the ground and its structures to regain ground lost during the 2016 elections. The party was saddled with factional battles and a regional task team was put in place to fix the issues. Leading into the elections, the ANC was also confident of a victory.
The ANC will get 50+1 on the 1st of November. It is not in our political lexicon to enter into a space of coalition discussions because we are going to reclaim back Nelson Mandela as the ANC.
The relationship between the local UDM leader Luxolo Namete and DA's Nqaba Banga brought some stability to the metro as the coalition stabilized. The UDM, however, kept its coalition options open.
Well, according to us, we want to win by outright majority. But if the voters voted otherwise, we are willing to work with small parties. We are even willing to work with the DA as we are working with it. We will be working even with the ANC if it comes to a push, but only if they are able to withdraw those arrogant tendencies of them. Then we can work. So UDM is a flexible party and also a democratic party. We are willing to work with everyone who's going to put the interest of residents of Nelson Mandela in front.
The DA's coalition partners were ready to continue the arrangement post-elections.
Currently our position is we won't go into coalition with the ANC. Not at all. I don't even think we won't be going into coalition with the EFF. And I think the reason for that is because of our ideological differences. It is totally far apart.
The EFF were also aiming to grow its representation in council, but still resolute in not forming coalitions.
The EFF, who are not planning to be in coalition with any other political party, who are in confidence, or we rather have confidence to our people that they are going to vote right, they are going to vote with the EFF, since they know that EFF is the only organization that will best protect the interest of the people, and we have the interest of the people at heart. That much I know.
It was all playing out to be a closely run election between the DA and the ANC in Nelson Mandela Bay, with smaller parties said to have a huge influence on who takes charge. The Abantu Integrity Movement was one of the players on the block with a local backing.
I'm saying that, yes, if we come to an agreement with another group of people, those people are going to have to strictly adhere to the principles of AIM. One of them is this, that we are going to work with what is there. We're not going to reinvent anything. First of all, let's get everything that we have to function according to the manner in which it's supposed to function.
And then the election results trickled in, and soon it was evident that the Metro was heading for Hung Council. The two parties finished equal, with 39% of the vote, equating to 48 seats each in the 120-seat council. The EFF, its third biggest party, with 8 seats. The horse trading went on for days, stretching into the wee hours of the mornings. That was followed by a disputed inaugural council meeting. And eventually, a council government formed with an interesting makeup, surprising to many. The newcomers on the block, the Northern Alliance, with 3 seats, became a big player. Gary van Niekerk of the Northern Alliance was elected Speaker by 1 vote. It was evident that the ANC is heading for the mayoral office. The 1-vote scenario played out again, with Eugene Johnson beating the DA's Nqaba Panga.
Honourable Speaker, there are no place for corruption in the administrators. We have a capable team. I've made a commitment to the members of the coalition government that we will root out corruption.
The other surprise was the EFF voting with DA Block, as in other metros. The DA also had 1 councillor not attending. 1 vote making a huge difference.
We were not aware of the EFF's position. It became clear, obviously, that they, within the various councils across the country, with the EFF's position that they had taken on this, but we hadn't been aware of it going into the council meeting. However, that being the case, and you make mention of Mr. Odendaal not attending the meeting, that is a consequence of the fact that we weren't aware of this, first of all, but had we been aware, it wouldn't have made a difference. I was personally involved in the coalition negotiations that had transpired on the Sunday afternoon prior to the council meeting, and it became very clear that we would not put together a stable coalition government. The fact of the matter was a bloc had been formed by the various smaller parties with unreasonable demands. The Democratic Alliance would have obtained only an executive mayor position, the chief whip, and 1 of the MMC positions. None of the service delivery portfolios, which we would have had to take responsibility for. So we would have been sitting with basically a ceremonial mayor, unfortunately, and that is not acceptable. Because the DA has the position that there's only one thing worse than not governing, and that's governing not well when you are in government.
The UDM also surprisingly jumped ship.
And also the DA had an element of arrogance in that, because if you know that you've sent people to go and negotiate on your behalf, you make sure that you are available 24/7, because anything can happen, especially if you know that you did not give them absolute powers to make decisions. So those are the things that when we sat as a bloc, we're like, but these people are playing with us. It's like now they are making us a favor. And when we went now on Sunday, the arrogance we were received with, it just didn't sit well. It was going to say that, all right, what's happening at national is actually happening at the regional level. Therefore, this coalition is not going to work. Already the DA is bullying us. Let's find other ways. Let's see how the ANC behaves and what do they have at the table.
The ANC secured power when smaller parties like AIM, who showed interest in voting with the DA, voted with the ANC. That secured a position on the mayoral committee for AIM.
The group collectively said that so-and-so can fit here, so-and-so can fit there. And it made absolute sense and logic to do so. And then when we brought that back to the DA said, no, close the book. My federal, I'll speak to the people in wherever they are, headquarters, and then we can't do. They closed the negotiations. We went to the ANC, put our demands, put our structure. The ANC kicked and cried and so on, but ultimately, as we were doing, and then slowly, we came closer and closer. And the thing was, we came to some kind of an agreement where you realize now we got 8 portfolio committees. The ANC got 6.
The provincial ANC leadership is confident about the stability of the coalition.
The current coalition agreement in the Nelson Mandela Metro is founded on principles of unity, cohesion, and working for the people, in particular in the areas of the working class and the poor areas. So we are anchoring that particular coalition on an agreement of solidarity and working to serve those particular people for the better part of the term.
But forming coalitions is all about concessions, and analysts say the smaller parties are in a position to make bigger demands.
And once again, I think with the current coalition talks that we saw for the next 5-year period, again a similar theme emerged where smaller parties were saying, we will go into a coalition if we are able to get these politically prestigious positions. The danger of that, of course, is that if a smaller party changes its mind and decides, you know what, I rather want the position of speaker, or I rather want another portfolio, it destabilizes the coalition. So what you now found is a coalition that's built on, let's say, giving smaller parties what they want, but not necessarily having a big, broader developmental framework for the public good at heart.
The first indications of a rocky ride for residents of the metro have surfaced already. The rumblings of a motion of no confidence against the mayor, Eugene Johnson, have been heard already. But the new coalition has put up a united front against the talk. Lerato Fekisi, SABC News, Gqeberha.